was the bye like for you guys, and what's it like? Does it help the bye week before a shorter week, a Friday game? Does it kind of make it more like a normal week for you guys?
We really use the bye week to get better, get our bodies back, and just elevate our standards. So we definitely utilize the bye week.
How's the secondary responded in particular? Both DJ, Michael, really everybody. Where a lot of young guys who haven't necessarily been in that spot have had some successes, but some late tough moments against Stanford, where obviously the final play of regulation, the final play in overtime there for you guys. Just how have you seen those guys respond? Have you responded as a secondary?
Those guys, they really believe in themselves and their abilities, and we as a whole believe in them as well. You know what I'm saying? So, we really just lean on them. Everybody makes mistakes, here and there. So, but like at the end of the day, they believe in their abilities. They believe in their job, their alignment, their assignment, their technique. They're good.
How would you assess how you played and also the units played so far this season?
Like I said, we just try to be perfect, but we have a couple of bumps and bruises here and there, and we just want to learn from them. We can't make the same mistakes every week. I had a couple of missed tackles, this week coming in. I don't want to make those same mistakes. So, like I said, just elevate our standards.
So how tough was it just to kind of, summer after that Stanford loss, especially considering you didn't have a bye week, the game to play the next week?
One more time.
How tough was it not to play the next week?
Oh, it's definitely a little bit. It's definitely a little bit tough. Not getting activated every week. That take that week off. But like I said, we use that week to get better and elevate our standards. Do a lot of good on good periods. So that's kind of like where we fit in game situations. So.
How important is Verone to your guys' group? Just like even in film and off the field stuff.
Verone is, he's very important. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those vets in the group. He's a 3-year starter. He's seen it all pretty much. He really understands what he's doing, and he really understands the grand scheme of things. And we really lean on him to he's our leader. He's the general. So we really lean on that guy big time.
What works so well about teammates? There are other players have said he's a really good communicator. How do you kind of see that on played out?
So prime example, in the meeting room, say we for a bunch or something like that, we learn how to adjust to those different things. Playing teams in the past, Verone, he's seen it before, and he's like, hey, let's do this instead of that, because teams typically like to do this. So little stuff like that, he's seen things that other guys haven't seen, I've seen stuff on film, but as far as playing and actually doing it on the field, he has a lot of that, that chemistry.
So it's almost like a very active participant
on
his part in the film study.
Indeed.
Interesting.
You brought it up, but I was going to ask, where does the general come from with Verone McKinley? Because you're not the only guy to call him that.
So, I think the guy named him, I think he kind of brought the name upon himself, and I really feel like we kind of lean on it. It's like, hey, it's not too bad of an idea. The guy, he's a leader on the team. He, he always has good things to say. He always has, ways to get us all going. So I really feel like, the general, I agree with it. So.
When you guys listen to his podcast?
I do. So I live with Verone, so I'm always at home. I'm sitting on the side, listening to him talk about it and everything like that. I'm watching the game. He's like, Steve, bro, you can't be yelling while I'm on the podcast. I'll be into the game too. So.
How often is he just watching football?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Even when we go in here, we pull up some NFL tape and we'll go in there and watch it or whatever. Even watching other football games as well. We just always conversating all the time. Just always watching it.
Did you ever have times where you're like, look, man, turn it off for a little bit? I don't want to be doing football.
Nah, definitely not. So, ultimately, that's where we want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got to watch it. You got to see other people make their mistakes, other people make great plays. You want to add it to your game, or you're like, oh, hey, we can't do that when we on the field type of thing. So, we're always learning and seeing what other guys do good, what they do bad, things like that.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Steve.